What is going on, guys and girls, fellow Star Wars fans, fellow Jedi, fellow Sith? Guys, we are going to be talking about Star Wars The Last Jedi. I have so many things I want to say about this movie, good and bad. I honestly don't know where to begin. I think we can just. I really don't know what to say, guys. I'm going to go through the movie as best possible to my understanding, to my own opinion. If it differs from your opinion, please let me know. If it does not, then that's okay too. But I think it's really interesting because it does pick off right after where we left off. Poe and the other resistant fighters are going after the Star Destroyers. Poe and them, they lose all their bombers, and Poe really went into like a suicide mission. He comes back. Leia tells him, "You cannot do that because we just lost an immense amount of our fighters." And he says, "That is, well, okay, but we still did what we had to do." She says, "Yes, but you still did not what you were supposed to do." And they lost a major of their fleet. Then it picks up right after Rey finds Luke, but here comes the but. All he does is he takes the lightsaber and he throws it behind him. She tries to follow him, trying to get him to understand that the resistance needs his help, and he just says, "Leave me alone." It was it was really comedic with Luke because he pretty much was living like Yoda did. He did not want anything to do with the resistance. He did not want nothing to do with Rey, the Jedi, nothing. And this is what really compelled me because I really got a Yoda vibe from him. And when I say this, I mean, to the fact of the matter is, he really portrayed Yoda in this. He really did. He was not using the Force at all because Rey kept on saying, "I need to understand where this is coming from." And he tells her about the books from the Jedi that he's been reading and where everything is coming from, and also where he finally gives in after she's seeing how he lives, how he eats, how he drinks from all these animals. Of course, you see all the porgs, and it's getting on Chewbacca's nerves. We see all this. We see all this, but this is what really grabs my attention. He lives like a monk. He really does. He grabs fish. He has a nice species helping him take care of his hut, which is one of the last temples of the Jedi. And he really does not do anything except for he came to die in peace because he says he failed. He failed the Jedi, he failed everyone, and he says, and she kept on telling him, "You're Luke Skywalker, you're, you're a legend." He says, "Yes," and this legend failed. And he could not accept his failure. And Rey kept telling him maybe that's what this resistance needs is a legend. He says no, it doesn't. He says, "You think you can take on?" He says, "Snoke, Kylo Ren, and the First Order." He says, "You're wrong." And he just keeps on wanting to ignore her. And then finally, once that happens, he sees her, like, between this entire time, Rey is having connections to Kylo Ren. And before then, we do see Snoke. He's in his throne room. We see his Praetorian guards, and he's very disappointed in Kylo Ren because he says he's weak, even though he killed Han Solo. He says, "You're nothing close to Darth Vader. You're nothing but a disappointment." This really pisses off Kylo Ren. He destroys his mask. He destroys his mask because whatever of Darth Vader he wanted to become, he pretty much destroyed while he destroyed his mask. He keeps on having, throughout the entire movie, and I'm going to go back and forth here, guys. He and Rey have this connection. Since they are both very highly force sensitive, they keep on wanting to talk and they keep seeing each other. She says, "You're a monster, you killed Han Solo." And he tells her, "You're nothing but a lonely child looking for someone." He says, "For a father figure." He says, "You looked for it in Han Solo, now you're looking for it in Luke Skywalker," because Luke does agree to train her at some point in the movie, and he tells her how to use the Force. She says she sees light and darkness. He tells her to resist, and she doesn't. She goes further in. He finally gets her out, and he says that is why he will not train another Jedi, because he says Ben betrayed him. It goes back and forth between what happened when Luke decided to train his Jedi, and he said that when he tried to contact Ben about his power, that Ben betrayed him. And then Kylo tells her his own version of the story, because basically the moral of the story is that Luke came in feeling his presence, reading his mind of all the darkness that was inside Kylo Ren, and he did not really give him a chance. He was close to killing his own nephew, but he did not. He was very close. Kylo Ren woke up, and that's when he already made his decision, when he thought his own uncle was going to kill him, because Luke thought he was going to become another Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader. That's exactly what Rey kept on telling him. You pull back Darth Vader. I believe that Ben Solo can be turned back. He says, you can't do that. It's not going to go the way you think. And that's when we see that in the trailer of him in the rain. It is him, because Rey does fight him at some point when Kylo Ren as well as Rey has this like little moment back and forth throughout the entire movie of pretty much not really, like, they just have a very big connection. They just have a huge connection to one another, where he has a shirt off and he's telling her that you don't really realize what he's capable of, what's happened. And throughout the entire movie, Rey does have her own journey. She trains with her lightsaber, which is in an incredible form, with Anakin's lightsaber, and she does train with her staff. But it really, really got me of how powerful she is, even without no training. And that's exactly what Snoke said. He says, you let a girl beat you that has no training. How did that happen? And it really impresses Luke, but it also scares him, because this is what terrifies him. He says he saw it in Ben, now it scares him even more. And we also see where Finn, earlier on in the film, Finn does wake up, he tells Poe what's going on, and Poe tells him what's going on, what they have to do. He meets another narrative character named Rose, and they want to get rid of, because the First Order is tracking them through space using a tracker through light speed, and that's how they keep on destroying all the ships. So the Resistance does die later on, and this is what really got me within the film. Guys, this is what really got me within the film. This is another big spoiler. Leia almost died in the film, aka Carrie Fisher, but also on a side, I miss Carrie Fisher. And at the end of the film, for spoilers, again, guys, this is massive spoilers, she lives, but this is what really got me. She uses the Force right after, when Kylo Ren is attacking the Republic ship. He has a chance to kill her, but he doesn't take it. He has other starfighters take on that, and then she gets sucked into space. She uses the Force to pull herself back in. She somehow survives. That's what really gets me. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, why haven't we seen this before? Why haven't they wrote this in? And then later on, when Rey tells Luke what she's going to do, he tells her this is not going to go the way you think. She does leave. He's threatening to burn all the scribes of the Jedi, as well as everything. And as soon as he does that, we see Yoda. We finally see the Jedi Master himself, the legend. He is in his form, his ghost form, as we call it. And he says, Master, he says, I keep failing. He basically, when he's about ready to burn everything, he stops. And then Yoda just kind of raises his hand, and next thing you know, lightning strikes and destroys what Luke was going to destroy. And he says, why did you do that? He says, don't you think, he says, it's about time we actually keep going? Because Yoda knew the same thing Luke did. It had to end. He cannot keep going. Yes, he learned so much, but at the same time, Yoda knew what it cost him. And him and Yoda, even Yoda told him, he's after everything that I taught you, everything you've learned, you still don't understand. The biggest regret and the biggest achievement is failure. He says, you learn after you fail. And that was really good to see Yoda in the film. Now, again, guys, more massive spoilers. I'm not going to go fully in the film. Rey does get captured after herself and Chewie go to the First Order ship, and she goes into a pod, goes onto the ship, and she does get towards Snoke, and he wants to reveal the location. She says no. He tries to get in her head, but then later on, we find out Rey's parents are nobody. She says they are nobody. They sold her for drinking money, which is what does get revealed in the film. And this is what really gets me here, guys. The entire film, Rey and Kylo has this connection, and she keeps on thinking that he's going to betray Snoke, or if he's not going to. And Snoke says, I cannot be betrayed. And Snoke is just throwing her around like a rag doll. He's extremely powerful. We only see Snoke maybe twice in the film. And this is what really gets me. Right when he's saying, I know every move he's gonna make, right when he makes it, he says, kill her, it's your destiny. He starts speaking, and we start seeing Kylo kind of mess with his lightsaber, and we even see the Anakin's lightsaber moving because Rey does try to grab it, but soon knocks her in the head because Snoke takes it back and he's so strong. But right when that happens, right when he's about ready to cut Rey down, you see Anakin's lightsaber cut Snoke, just like how in Darth Maul in Phantom of the Menace. Now, that was shocking. I was like, holy crap, you gotta be kidding me. And then right when that happens, the best part in the entire film was the Praetorian Guards against Kylo Ren and Rey. That was the best scene in the whole entire damn movie, guys. That was the best scene. Hands down, that was the best scene. He tries to tell her to join him. She will not join him. And then she leaves, and he now becomes Supreme Leader Kylo Ren of the First Order. He tells Hask that Rey killed the Supreme Leader. He says, well, I think I'm going to take command, and he force chokes him. He says, no. They chase down the rest of the rebels, or resistance, down to a planet named Crate because Finn and Rose come up against a traitor as well as a codebreaker on another planet, which is sort of like a slave trader, and that's where we see more animals, and that's where how she, kind of her and Finn develop a relationship, and they meet children, how she kind of grew up, how the First Order kind of basically kind of gives them, you either do this or you die, or you're put in slavery, and when they retreat, what really got me is when Finn and Rose were on the First Order Imperial ship. Same time, Rey and Kylo Ren, mind you. The admiral that took place in Leia kept on having an idea. I was like, man, this bitch is crazy. Why are we even listening to her? And this is what really was interesting. She was doing what Leia wanted, and then Leia opens up the damn door, and she knocks Finn out. Basically because she knows they can't run. She knows that it's being tracked, and as soon as that happens, she tells them we all have to leave, but the Admiral does stay, but the Admiral gives them a great chance to survive. She goes into light speed and destroys most of the Imperial ships, and during that time, we see Finn go up against Captain Phasm. That was an interesting fight. And and I'll tell you what, guys, when she says you're nothing but scum, he says, no, I'm rebel scum. That was classic right there. Finn's the man. I gotta say, Finn's the man. And we don't know if Phasm's dead. More than likely, yes, she is. Right now, Snoke's dead. And here comes the big spoiler, guys. Right when the Resistance is trying to hold off on Crate against the First Order, they are going massive. It really reminded me what happened on in Empire Strikes Back. This is what reminded me so much of Empire Strikes Back, guys, because of how much it was so close to Empire Strikes Back with Yoda, the teaching, going up against someone that you were trying to turn back. There was just so much that reminded me of mix between Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. There was just so much. And what was really interesting, guys, is that we really see where they're trying to go up against the First Order, and right when everything seems lost, they're trying to go out to a beacon, and then right when everything happens, we see the First Order decimate the Resistance, and Poe now knows he has to retreat. Finn's about to go make the ultimate sacrifice, suicide, pretty much, to destroy a can that's destroying the Crate in the planet, and Rey does show up in the Millennium Falcon with Chewie, trying to give them a good resistance, but against the TIE Fighters doesn't give them a whole lot of help. Then Rose comes in, saves Finn from destroying himself, as well as the generator that's trying to open up the base. And right when everything's lost, everyone has gotten to see the message, but at the same time, they will not do anything. So right then, Leia gives up hope, and then we see Luke come in, and he apologizes to Leia. Everyone sees him, and he gives them hope. He comes in, and we see C-3PO go, he says, Master Luke, and he just kind of winks at him. He did the same thing with R2. And when he saw R2 earlier in the movie, he says, you can't get me to come back. And when he says, this is what really gets me, is the only thing that really brought him back is the same thing we saw in Help Me Obi-Wan Kenobi, You're My Only Hope. He says that's a low blow. So it's pretty much what really brought him back was family. And he says, I come here to face him. She says, I know my son's gone. He says, not everybody's gone. Not really. He's mentioning towards Darth Vader, and he comes out, and he's actually giving them a chance. Kylo Ren orders a huge fire assault onto Luke, and it does not work. Then he wants to go down there and face him himself, and he says, He says, I'm finally going to come to face you. He says, yeah. He says, what are you going to do? Come here to save my soul? Come here to say I failed you? He says, no. He says, I'm not here for that. He says, I'm here for me, and I'm here for everyone else. And they start facing. He lights up the lightsaber. But what really gets me is he using their lightsaber, but at the same time, when Kylo Ren and Rey were on the ship, Anakin's lightsaber broke. That's what really got me. I was like, okay, and then they start fighting. Not really. Luke didn't really fight him. It was just like he was dodging everything. And right when Finn kept on saying, we need to go, we need to get out of here, we need to fight, and Poe goes, no, we need to leave. He's giving us a chance to go. And so he's like, well, we got to find a way out of here. And they really do by these dog-like creatures. And Leia looks at me. Leia looks at, not me, but she's like, well, why are you looking at me for? Follow him. Let's go. And they go into the caves, and they do find a way out, but it's crushed by rocks. Rey does come, and she says, of course, it had to be rocks. So apparently, she's able to levitate the rocks. And right when Luke is about done fighting, he exhausts his lightsaber, and he puts it back on him, and he says, if you kill me in anger, he says, I'll always be with you, just like your father. And as soon as that happens, he tries to strike down, right slice through Luke. It does not work. Luke turns around and he tries to put the entire lightsaber through him. It does not work. Luke was astral projecting himself from the planet onto where they were. And he just looks at him. He says, see you later, kid. And then he fades. And right when everybody is getting on, but before that happened, he tells him, he says, I'm going to burn down everything. He says, the Jedi are done, the Republic is done, and so is Resistance. He says, everything you say is wrong. He says, the Republic is just going to be reborn. He says, the Resistance, the Rebels are reborn, and I'm certainly not the last Jedi. Because now, Rey is now a Jedi. She is now a Jedi, thanks to Luke and everything. She has massive potential, as well as everything. Now, this was an incredible moment, and Kylo Ren knows that he messed up. And right when he kind of senses Rey about ready to leave, and they just kind of look at one another through the Force, and she just closes the door of the Millennium Falcon. Now, how it ends is Luke is looking out at the sun, trying to climb back on the rocks, and he just disintegrates the same way Yoda did, the same way Obi-Wan did. So technically, Luke Skywalker is dead, as well as Rey is holding the blade, and she goes, how can we go back from this? And she just says, I don't know. She says, I don't know how to go back from this. And she says, yeah, we do. Everything we have is right here. And that's how it ends. Now, there was things I liked about this movie. The movie was good, and the movie kind of sucked because we didn't really see a whole lot from Luke. We didn't see a whole lot from Snoke. I really want to see a lot from Snoke. I mean, it was like you're supposed to see someone that's so powerful, more powerful supposedly than Emperor Palpatine, more powerful than Darth Vader, and we only saw him in 2 movies and he didn't really do much and he died. Same thing with Luke. So many people wanted to see Luke Skywalker for how powerful he had gotten. So powerful. So powerful. And what did we see? We didn't see much or nothing. It was like he just actually projected himself. We wanted to see how powerful he'd gotten. And it was like, it was nothing. And so we lost Luke. How did Leia use her power? That's another thing. And is Luke Skywalker now pretty much a Force ghost like Yoda as well as all the others? And guys, there's so much controversy on this movie that I personally think that a lot of fans are going to be like, what the hell? Like, and personally, I'm in agreement. And I got really excited about this movie, and I really want to see it. I personally think they did a good job. I think they did a good job, but not to the best of their abilities. I think it could have been a little bit better. It was really, again, the stuff between Kylo Ren and Rey really just like, I was like, really? Like, okay, we know they have like some type of connection to the Force. It's like, come on already. And then the same thing with Luke and everything of that nature. And then we saw Yoda, which was great, and all this other kind of stuff. But it was one of those things where it kind of let you down to a certain degree. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, what you guys thought about The Last Jedi. Let me know in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the movie, if you guys did. Let me know what you guys did like about it, what you guys did not like about it. Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys are new to this channel and you want to see more Star Wars, leave a like as well. If you're new to the channel, consider about subscribing, as well. Links down in the description below as normal for when I upload, as well as when I let you guys know I may not be upload. So much content coming. I'm going to be doing some more Star Wars videos on the movie, as well as my own personal on some other ideas about the movie as well. So keep an eye out for that, as well as some other things that's coming to this channel. Hope you guys are enjoying your day, your night. Again, if you've not seen The Last Jedi yet, go ahead and check it out. I do recommend it. Again, for a movie, I do maybe it's like a 7 out of 10. So that's my review, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.